It's the #1 show in the world. The Bones Show.
The world famous, worldwide boneshow.com.
Just another day on the front line, forced to apologize. Being who I am, but you better run. I'm standing back, all this wasted time, feeling like a landmine. You know I...
Over 25 million daily listeners. That's what you get right here. It's The Bone Show. My name is Alex Bones.
And my name is Jenny.
And we do this show every single day. We watch videos. We comment on the videos. We keep you up to date with what's real, what's not real, what's fake, and what's not fake. Get everything you need at theboneshow.com. All right, Jimmy. Let's go ahead and kick us off with a video tonight.
Okay, so we live in Utah.
Is Utah a part of the U.S.?
Yeah, it's a state.
Do you need a passport to go to Utah?
I don't think so. I think you can just go there and you don't need a passport.
Okay, just making sure.
And I love it here. But we moved here about 8 months ago from Vegas.
Hey, you moved from Vegas to Utah. Wow, that's got to be a big culture shock.
And it's been amazing. However, my husband and my son, he's 12, he's almost 13, they had noticed that there has been a weird little gnome. I'm going to sound freaking crazy for saying this.
What is she talking about?
She's talking about some type of gnome that's in their yard. You can buy that at the Home Depot. They come in all shapes and sizes.
There's a weird little gnome in our backyard.
Yeah, you pick it up and throw it away.
That just apparently runs back and forth and up the things. And I'm like, I have not seen this.
Is marijuana legal in Utah?
Yeah, I don't think, maybe. I mean, what else is there to do in Utah but get really, really high? And that's probably what it is. They're probably eating gummies and watching gnomes run back and forth, and they're really the fake ones, but they think they're the real ones.
Weird.
You think?
So we've done some research, and...
Oh, God, here we go. She did some research. She went on the TikTok and on the Facebook. That's her research. She researched gnomes.
Apparently, this is not new.
Yes, it is.
I call it a gnome. I don't really know what it's called. It's like a little person, like a little...
Oh, so they're little people. Oh, see, you're making fun of the little
like
people.
2 feet, maybe?
Yeah, they're called dwarfs.
They've seen it like a few times. I'm not, I guess, apparently in tune to see it, so I haven't seen it. But my husband said, like, oh,
Hey, you can't make fun of people that are 2 feet tall. Jimmy, what happened to the internet?
Hey, the internet just cut out on this broad's gnome video.
little shiny things, and they like...
Okay, it's back now.
Like soccer balls and little basketballs.
They like soccer balls?
And I'm like, cool. We have decided to put out like some pennies, like little shiny pennies for them, and like a tiny little basketball to see if they'll move it or if they'll like love it. And we shall...
Oh my God, you're wacky.
See, I will show you. There's our basketball.
Right.
Has not moved since I put it out there.
Okay, so there's
These
no
are
gnomes.
Shiny little pennies.
They put pennies out there.
But obviously it's rained for the past few days, so maybe...
They don't like rain. They're like cats.
But my husband said that he saw it the first time when he was out here barbecuing. He saw it running up the wall of our neighbors.
Okay.
And then my son saw it just like right out here. And I'm like, what is going on?
See, all that kind of stuff can happen in Utah. Nobody knows. Like 14 people live there. So all that can happen. Let it stay into Utah. Keep the gnomes there. Thank you. Next.
Remember her, Bishop Mary Ann Buddy, who gave a sermon at the Washington National Cathedral the day...
That was the lady that did gave this speech at the cathedral.
After the inauguration, and in her prayer urged President Trump to, quote, have mercy on various groups.
Yeah, she was up there making the President Donald J. Trump mad.
Specifically, illegal migrants. Well, it turns out that Bishop Marianne Buddy's Episcopal Migration Ministries, EMM, during the Biden administration, received $53 million from government programs for immigrant resettlement. And that is just 2023. The 2024 numbers haven't even been released yet. So my guess is she probably received back-to-back payments.
Oh, God. That proves it right there. Money is the root of all evil. Right there. Yeah, she took it. And then she got in front of the President Donald J. Trump and she said mean things. But the whole time she was getting money from the Sleepy Joe. She got the $53 million a year from the Sleepy Joe. So then she goes up there. I wonder how much money she got paid from the Kamala Harris to get up there and say those mean things in front of our great president. I wonder what she got paid for that.
Now it all makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Why she said this in her sermon.
I ask you to have mercy, Mr. President, on those in our communities whose children fear that their parents will be taken away.
She wasn't praying for them. She was praying for her bank account. You always have to follow the money.
Oh, God, that's horrible. So the whole time she's a goody two-shoes up there and telling the Mr. President Donald J. Trump what he should and shouldn't do and be nice to the legal aliens. And the whole time she was getting money. The Sleepy Joe was like, here, take this. Here, take this $53 million. Oh, that's a horrible, horrible, horrible story. Next.
Breaking news, Donald Trump just announced that the migrants who came into America with the CBP-1 app, they thought they were coming in legally with that app. He's going to be using that app to deport people out of America.
Hey, the same app that you use to get in, get off the TikTok and go on that app and take yourself back out.
He's calling this app now the CBP Home app. And he's saying if a migrant, if you will deport yourself,
take yourself out.
Fill out this app. Put in your picture, your name, what country you're from, your identification number. Deport yourself out of America. You will be allowed to reapply to come back into America legally. If people do not use this app, they do not deport themselves, and they are caught by ICE, they will never, ever be allowed to come back into America again. So he's given migrants.
So, Jimmy, get on that app.
I'm not illegal. I was born here. My parents were born here. I was born here.
You should go on the app anyway, because President Donald J. Trump might try to deport you.
Deport themselves.
He can't deport me. I'm from here. My parents are here. My grandparents are from here. Your great-great-grandparents, I think, came from here. I don't know. I don't know where they came from, but yeah, I've been here a long time, so I don't need no app. The only app that I use every single day is the TikTok app, and that's for this show.
And if you want to come back into America again to try to fulfill your American dream, if you do it legally, you'll be allowed to come back in. But
yes, so get on that app, put your photo in and your information, and take your ass out of the country and take your ass back home, and then maybe we'll bring you back.
You do not deport yourself. You stay in here.
Yeah, then we'll get you and we'll throw you out, and you'll never have a chance to come back. You'll be gone for good.
Catches you and sends you back to your country, you're done. You will never, ever
You're done.
Be allowed to come back into America.
Tell him, Balin.
You're done.
Right.
Okay, again. So
right, Balin. Tell him again.
You're done. You're done.
This app that the migrants use under the Biden-Harris administration is now being turned around to deport yourself out of the country. Pretty good idea if you ask me.
That's not a pretty good idea. What are you talking about? It's a fantastic idea. It's the greatest idea I've ever heard in my life. Next.
Are you guys ready for some nightmare fuel today? Brain-eating fungus causes the immune system to attack its own neurons.
Oh, great. Oh, so this is something new. Brain-eating fungus.
Wait, I don't have neurons in my brain, so it really don't matter.
I know, but it's a brain-eating fungus.
Where do you get the brain-eating fungus from?
I guess from eating the mushroom Swiss burgers.
Should you be afraid of this? No.
Should you be afraid of the brain-eating fungus? I would say yes.
But I'll tell you some stuff I'm afraid of.
like the dark, closets.
I'm afraid of closets in the nighttime because that's where the monsters live.
Yeah, so Jimmy's afraid of the monsters in the closets, and heights. That's a bad one. Bridges. When you go over the bridges in the car, that's kind of scary. 14 cents in my bank account. That's kind of scary too. Yeah, that scares me more than I think the brain-eating fungus. That's pretty damn scary.
Was a new mechanism for fungi to trick the host's immune system and actually end up causing it to attack itself. And a squishy brain is a good meal for a fungi. Now, this research was done in flies.
Well, where do you get the fungi from?
This won't get us, but there are other fungi that can end up in our brain. If you followed me for a while, you may know that Candida auris is one of my greatest fears.
What's a Candida auris?
This thing is spreading across the world. It's had a heavy uptick since 2019.
Is it worse than a brain-eating fungus?
Mostly impacts people
Is it worse than the monsters in the closet?
who are immunocompromised, but if you get it,
Is it worse than Mexicans?
it's very hard
I'm afraid of
to
Mexicans.
get rid of. This is because fungi are very similar to us. They're also
Hey, I'm a fun guy.
eukaryotes. We have many of the same
Yeah, he's a real fun guy.
systems. So unlike bacteria, where we can attack things about them that we do not share, there's overlap. So antifungals have the potential to make you very ill. For many, if they have a fungal infection like valley fever that gets into their bones, they're going to have it for the rest of their life. It's going to be maintenance. It is part of you forever.
Oh, then you got to go see the House MD, and then he's got to put you on broad spectrum antibiotics.
You're done. You're done.
Me out about Candida auris is how similar it looks to something else. This is white-nosed bat syndrome. It's a fungal infection that attacks bats.
Hey, I'm not a bat.
Now, bats have a very strange immune system.
Yeah, we're not bats. We're people.
They don't waste time
People don't get
getting
bat
rid of
disease.
pathogens. They suppress.
Yeah, unless a bat bites you, and I'm never near a bat, so I'm not worried about that.
They have immunotolerance, so to say. Turns out that's not a great mechanism if
They
you're
can't
trying to
hear,
fight off
though.
a fungus because it will eat you.
You're done.
When it comes to Candida auris, ultimately, it needs to be caught quickly before it ends up
Well, how do you get Candida auris?
being septic. Fungus is not something you want in your bloodstream. You don't want anything in your bloodstream, but fungus is one of the things you really don't want.
Oh, this broad's never going to tell me.
It can and will end up in your brain. Our brains are pretty well isolated from the rest of our bodies. We are long-lived creatures, and we have brains that have allowed us to survive.
Now I got to know how you get Candida auris. I found it, Jimmy. It's Candida auris. Don't worry about it. All I'm just going to say is you don't have to worry about it, okay?
Why don't I have to worry about it? Candida auris, I'm scared of that. She was talking about brain-eating things, yeast, fungus, and Candida auris, and I'm afraid of it now.
No, don't be afraid of it. It's like yeast infection.
I don't have yeast because I don't have a vagina.
Exactly. You don't have to worry about it because you don't have one of those, okay? I guess you only have to worry about that if you have one of those and you don't. As far as I know, I could tell you, but I think you don't have one of those, so don't worry about it. Next.
Yesterday, my babysitter told me she's pregnant.
Okay, so she's not going to be your babysitter no more. What's wrong with that?
The baby belongs to my husband.
Oh, that's a bad thing.
I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and the past 4 years I had been a stay-at-home mom. I decided to go back to work because I wanted to do something else than just be a stay-at-home mom. I needed a babysitter, so I was asking around, and my neighbor from 2 houses down, her 19-year-old daughter, right? She was telling me, she was like, oh, she can babysit, like she has nothing going on right now.
Okay, 19-year-old daughter for the babysitter. That's not good.
Cool. When I met her, she seemed sweet and quiet and
Is she hot?
and just like kind of to herself. Told her we would test her out for a month and then we would see from there.
Hey, he was testing her out for a month too.
Let me tell you, this girl went above and beyond, okay? She was great. So when I would come home, dinner was made. And I'm talking about like steak, asparagus,
Yeah, she took your job.
mashed potato,
The whole job.
like rest-
and nothing but the job.
peas every day, cupcakes. The kids loved her, like loved her.
Yeah, like a new mommy.
Me and my husband were like, yeah, she's staying. You know, this is going to be our permanent babysitter for now. After 3 months, because she was going above and beyond, because she even started like cleaning the house. I would come home and the house was clean, dinner was cooked. I mean, she was doing above and beyond.
we decided that, well, my husband talked to me and he was like, I think we should pay her more. So I was like, you know what?
Hey, he gave her a bonus.
Pay her more. So we gave her a raise after 3 months. Shit started getting weird though. Okay, so I started noticing that my husband was coming home early from work and
to see the babysitter.
And they would be eating, like the 4 of them, my kids and
new mommy,
her and him. And then they weren't even, my husband.
New, hotter, younger mommy.
Wasn't even waiting for me to get home no more. She was like, oh, your food's in the microwave. And then I would end up eating by myself. One day I get home from work and both of them are here in the kitchen.
Naked.
By themselves drinking wine. And I'm like, and the kids, and she's like, oh, they're already asleep. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, oh, he's helping me with homework because I enrolled in some online classes. And I'm like, what the hell? I was like, okay. And I was like, wait, your hair's wet. Did you shower? And she was like, oh, yes, because one of the kids threw some soup on me. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I go upstairs later on and I notice her hair's all over my bathtub. Yes.
Because the kids got her dirty. What didn't you hear about that story?
Boxers are on the floor. You know how men never put their boxers inside the basket? They always just leave it right outside. So I was like, dude, this guy showered too. So I was like,
saving water. That's because water is very expensive now. So you got to conserve the water. And she had stuff on her and
it's weird. I didn't want to seem insecure, so I just didn't confront them at all. So then, fast forward, I come home a little bit early and I hear her on the phone with some girl. I don't know. I thought it was a friend. And she's like talking about the baby, like pregnancy, things like that. And then when she notices I'm home, she hangs up. And I'm like, okay, what the hell? This girl is like a stick. She is like thin, right? So all of a sudden, I started noticing that she was getting a belly. And I'm like, is this girl pregnant? So then I freaking told her yesterday, I was like, hey, like, are you pregnant? And she starts crying. And I'm like, girl, it's okay. Like, it's fine. Everything's going to be...
Your kids are going to have siblings.
Okay. And she's crying. She's like, no, you don't understand. I'm like, yes, it's okay. Like, don't worry about it. And she's like, the baby belongs to your husband. And I'm like, wait, what? And she's like, yes.
Yeah, new mommy.
It belongs to your husband. And he's making me get a... And I'm like, what the hell? I was like, we're going to go to...
He's making her get what?
I don't know, a Jeep.
Your house. I'm going to take you to your house. I was like, get out of my house. I was like, I'm going to go talk to your parents. So
don't talk to the parents.
I go over there and I tell her mom and her dad. Her dad was pissed. I mean, pissed off. So he was like, when he gets home, I'm going to go talk to him, right, to my husband. And I was like, you know what? Yes, that's fine. I was like, but let me talk to him first. And he was
way to have your husband's back.
It's like, okay, just call me whenever you're done.
Ride or die. Always have your husband's back.
Because then after that, me and him are going to talk.
Oh, great. So now he's gonna have to fight the dad, and then he's gonna have to have a conversation with you.
I'm waiting for my husband to get home. All of a sudden, I hear some chaos outside.
It's a horrible story.
I like some drama. I go outside, the neighbor's already beating his... He deserves that ass whooping. He does. So he gets his butt inside. He's crying, and he's all messed up.
He's crying. He's a little bitch.
And he's like, don't worry about it, baby. Like, don't worry about it.
You let an old man whoop your ass. You're a bitch.
I already told her to get rid of it. I'm so sorry. Blah. Like, just saying sorry left and right. Blah, blah, blah. At this point, I don't even know. I don't think I can forgive this man. I just wanted to share my story for all the girls out there that are thinking to...
Okay, so the bottom line is men do the babysitters and get them pregnant. I never knew that.
Bring another woman inside their home. Please be careful because...
Yeah, you don't bring a hot 19-year-old girl into your house to watch your kids while your wife is not there. Things happen.
There are so many women out there that are just ready to get your husband, and then your husband, if he's an easy peasy like mine, well, you know. So now we have another baby on the way, and I don't know if I'm going to divorce him. At this point, I'm confused because everything just...
Keep them away from 19-years. Yes. It's just a guy thing. They see something new and shiny, and it's new because it's still shiny as 19 years old, and then things happen.
And they're my neighbors. And she's 19 years old.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you brought it on. You brought the girl into your house. She's hot. You said yourself she's skinny. What's the guy supposed to do? I mean, he's looking. You're not home. She's there. Yeah, things happen.
Go. Hustle hard, hustle every single